The vulture lunged to bite the man's face. The boy awoke with a jolt of pain and frantically threw the vulture down into the valley. Looking around, he realized he was perched above a bottomless abyss. He began shouting for his father, remembering only that they had been hunting together when a yak attacked him, violently knocking him off the cliff. He had managed to grab onto a rock, but it quickly crumbled, sending him plummeting into the depths. He had no idea how much time had passed, but it was clear his father had gone. The boy began climbing downward, refusing to die in this place. He gripped a crevice when suddenly his hand slipped, leaving his feet without support. At that moment, dark clouds gathered overhead and torrential rain poured down. His survival instinct made him hold on with all his strength as he watched floodwaters rising below. Realizing this might be his only chance to survive, he considered jumping, but the height was terrifying. Yet not jumping meant certain death. Finally gathering his courage, he leapt. The next day, the boy woke in the mud and discovered one of his legs wouldn't move. He positioned his foot between two rocks to straighten it, then fashioned a crude splint. After a brief rest, he set off. Walking a great distance, he finally reached the top of the cliff. There, he found a memorial stone his father had placed for him. He realized that after falling from the cliff, everyone had presumed him dead. His father had called out for him all night, but as the tribe's leader, he had responsibilities to ensure the safety of his people. After a fruitless night of waiting, his father had to lead the tribe back home, where women and children were waiting for the men to return. Seeing this, the boy knew his father was long gone. He collapsed helplessly on the ground when suddenly a wolf's howl pierced the air. Looking up, he spotted a wolf pack on the distant plains and began retreating, limping in the opposite direction. After fleeing for hours, he finally found a place with water. Suddenly, looking up, he discovered two hungry wolves had tracked him. The boy, despite his injured leg, escaped up a tree, but one wolf grabbed his shoe. In panic, he pulled out his dagger and stabbed at it. He spent the night in the tree, and when morning came, only the wounded wolf remained lying on the ground. He crafted a spear and slowly approached the starving wolf, raising his weapon to kill it. The wolf seemed to understand its fate and whimpered pitifully. The boy couldn't bring himself to deliver the final blow. Instead, he decided to save the wolf. He tied a rope around the wolf's muzzle and cleaned its wounds. They sheltered in a cave for the night. The next day, the boy gathered herbs and used his scarf to dress the wolf's wounds. The wolf, sensing the human meant no harm, remained calm. When the boy prepared to return to his tribe, expecting the wolf to rejoin its pack, the wolf continued following him. And so the two unlikely companions began their journey home together. This exciting movie comes from Alpha, Return of the Wolf Companion.